now is a guided meditation. And for this hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific time, then we are actually part of a worldwide Mettā meditation that's taking place. So, for example, at Anandagiri in Thailand, there's people we know there, monastics that we know there, and they're also doing the Mettā meditation and Mettā practice at this moment. And then we're also transmitting over the airwaves. There's even though we don't have a huge group on Zoom, there are those of you who are from different places in the world, so we can imagine threads of light encircling the earth. And even though our Mettā practice won't be at the point yet where we're able to actually truly spread Mettā over the whole earth, as a group we can actually at least attempt this. And it might seem that we as individuals, with our own practice and our own actions, might not be making much of a difference, yet with the heart has that ability to expand, and the goodwill that we have can be quite expansive, and it can take the form of a group effort such as this. And in the Dhammapada we find that hate is never ended through hatred, only through Mettā. So well-wishing, loving kindness, love, is this hatred ended or appeased? So darkness isn't dispelled by adding more darkness, but only through turning on the light. And we might find ourselves getting upset at the state of the world, thinking there's various wars, we need to choose sides, we need to fight for justice. And yet the roots of all the wars in the world, those roots were planted long ago. It's as basic as just not getting what we want, being irritated with others who thwart our desires. Frustrated desire leads to anger, and then so on. It eventually results in conflicts and even global conflicts. And then we forget that the roots of it were just desire, leading to all sorts of suffering. So what we can do is actually go back to the root and goodwill for oneself and others. That's what we can do. So if we have a visual mind, then we can start to activate our goodwill, thinking of friends, family, people who, specifically someone who might evoke a very natural feeling of kindness, even joy, excitement if we were to meet up with them. One way to activate the Mettā is to actually think of someone who is our teacher, and then by having Mettā for them, we can actually tap into their Mettā, and that's one way to activate it. Another way is to imagine a person who evokes easy feelings of goodwill, and then if we're able to visualize them, imagine them enveloped in light. So that's another way to do it. It might be our parents or any grandparents we might feel close to, and so on. Or we might think of Saka, whose statue is here next to me. Then it's said that he attained the state of Saka through Mettā. And if we could define metta as non-anger. So his previous life as a human being, Saka, the lord of the Tavatimsa Devas, actually made this aspiration. If my mind gives rise to anger, may I not follow it, may I not attach to it, may I dispel it quickly. And through the good karma of that, through the virtue of that, and that was powerful enough to be one of the main causes for then in a future life to take rebirth as the Lord of the Tavatimsa Devas, the king of one of the heavenly realms. And we can make a similar aspiration that each one of us turning on our own light in that way can have a real effect, can have an impact. Once we're feeling a genuine warmth, a genuine sense of goodwill, then if we want to try and spread metta to the world, then we might think of a country that we have a connection with, or a country that in the world that we feel strong affinities with. And we can imagine that country like on a map, and imagine that place enveloped with light. And the light isn't just visual, it's also a cooling and comforting light. It's visual in that there's brightness, but it's also tangible in that it's cooling and comforting. When we're cool and comfortable, there's no way we'll want to engage in any kind of conflict or fight. Cultivating coolness and comfort for ourselves, then we wish that for others all over the world. Cool, quiet, comfortable, and we can rest, at least for a short period of time. So when we sit in meditation and cultivate our goodwill in this way, knowing that many others are doing this right now at this moment around the world, then we can meditate on that coolness and comfort and that sense of relief. Wishing that for ourselves and as many others as feels comfortable or as we can. As we approach the end of this first meditation session of our day of Anapanasati and Mettā, we can start by recollecting the breath, so the feeling of the cool air coming in, and then with the out breath, the cultivation of the goodwill, the mettā, for ourselves and others. And again, if we have a visual mind, we can imagine light encompassing people who evoke a sense of goodwill in us, or even imagining a country we might have a relationship with. For example, our ancestry might be with a certain country. Maybe many of us here who have different types of ancestry from different countries. So we can imagine that country that encompassed in light, but not just light, but a light that is cool and comfortable. Or if we don't have a visual mind, then we can just feel the coolness and the comfort and link it with the breath. In order to get involved in conflict, it's necessary for us to be in a state of agitation, to be getting worked up about something. But if there's a sense of coolness and ease, that just doesn't come up. When we give goodwill, that is a form of dana, that is a form of giving. And one recollection that we can bring to mind in terms of dana and mettā is that however much we give, whether it's giving in a material way or giving time to our own practice, to the whatever wholesome practice we're engaged in, whatever we give, that's how much well-being we have. And whatever we try to get, that's how much suffering we have. And so by stages, we give more, we give what we can until we're not thinking to get something for ourselves, whether it's getting something material or getting a result from our practice or getting praise from others. Then whatever we try to get, that's how much suffering we have. That's how much that our expectations won't be fulfilled. And however much we give, our sense of coolness, well-being, happiness will be proportionate to that.